Hello! Today, Jethro Tull, Still Living in the Past. Now, before I tell you about it, if you wouldn't mind if I ask a little favour of you first, and that's if you wouldn't mind subscribing to the channel, please, because that'd be marvellous. Hundreds of videos over the channel, new wave of British heavy metal, classic rock, prog rock. They're all there, and today, so we're adding Jethro Tull's Still Living in the Past, because this is the latest of that rolling programme of Jethro Tull albums that have been given the huge expanded big box book set treatment. Okay, and this is the band's Living in the Past album from way back in 1972 that's been given the now familiar multi-disc hardback book treatment. Alright, and of course the original was a double album of various tracks and outtakes and singles and whatnot from Tull's early days. And now with Still Living in the Past, we've got that familiar now hardback book format, as I've said, and the 100-page book, all sorts of lyrics and photographs and articles on nice glossy paper. And musically, we've got 5 CDs and 2 Blu-rays with all sorts of stuff going on. Now, I remember having the original I remember having the original Living in the Past on vinyl as a young whippersnapper back in the mid-1970s. That vinyl's long since lost somewhere over the decades since. So for an old Tull fan like me, and probably you as well, it's good news that we've got this lovely multi-disc book set, call it whichever way you like, to listen to all that glorious old stuff again. And if you're a bit of a completist, as I am, add this box book set to your collection of all the others that have come out over recent years. And if you're not a Tull fan, but you're a bit curious about them, then this probably isn't a bad place to start to discover what early period Jethro Tull were all about. I'd say that if you're not familiar with it musically, it marks how Tull started to transition from that early sort of like more bluesy style and start moving progressively towards that classic proggy folksy sound which would come to define them, really, wouldn't it, in the 70s, following albums such as Thick as a Brick, Minstrel in the Gallery, Songs from the Wood, etc., for example. So what have we got on here? Still Living in the Past. As I said, 5 CDs, 2 Blu-rays, not forgetting the 100-page book on nice glossy paper and all hardbound there. You can hear that? I'm tapping it now. That's the hardback cover. So what we got? CD1, the original mixes and remixes and edits and demos from the original, which spans 1968 to 1971. CD2, we've got Living in the Past Part 1, various remixes by Stephen Wilson, which CD3 is Stephen remixes again, Living in the Past Part 2. CDs 4 and 5, quite marvellous stuff here. Jethro Tull live at Carnegie Hall in 1970, spanned over the 2 discs. This is great because you've got Martin Barre on fire. Martin Barre, to me, probably to you as well if you're familiar with his work, long-time Jethro Tull guitarist and one of the finest guitarists of his generation, I think. What a player. Effortless, fluid, heavy, complicated, but marvellous. Really is. And not forgetting the Blu-rays, all sorts of different remixes in various formats there, in audio. And one of the Blu-ray discs has some video content as well. I don't have a Blu-ray player, so I can't comment on those. But the 5 CDs are just top stuff. There's a lot here for your money. As always with these things, to me, these Tull reissues in this format set the standard for any multi-disc reissue you can think of. And I think also they're generally reasonably priced compared with some multi-disc disc reissues which other bands have put out, which contain far less but cost far more. I paid around 50 quid for this one. Was it 50, 55, something like that? But when you consider you're getting 5 CDs, 2 Blu-rays, big book, I think that's value for money. I'll stop rambling on about it now because you've probably heard enough. If you would like a copy, if you're an old Tull fan, you probably would, or you've probably already got it. If not, you might consider it, so I'll put a link to it on Amazon in the description underneath. The little plea to Ian Anderson, if by some bizarre twist of fate you listen to this, please Ian, under wraps next, if you wouldn't mind. That would be phenomenal. But in the meantime, enjoy this. Please do subscribe to the channel before you go, if you wouldn't mind. And all being well, the new Diamond Head live album should arrive tomorrow, so we'll have some good old Nawabbum to listen to there, and enjoy. Review of that to follow if it does arrive tomorrow or within the next couple of days. And please do subscribe to the channel before you go, because that would be great. And until the next one, thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and take care.